Hey everyone, and welcome to Therapy Near Me. We are your hosts, Melissa Griffing and Rachel Iniarity. Each episode, we introduce you to amazing therapists that do amazing, important work in our community. We hope this helps you find the right fit and makes the search for good therapy a little less overwhelming. Yay! So here we are. This is our very first. Do you like my mug?
I do. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that
Thanks.
back up because people
Yeah,
need to see it.
I thought so too. I love
Yeah.
this mug. Okay,
And in
let me make.
true ADHD fashion, I have three beverages. This one has my favorite saying. Can you see that? Get
Uh,
after it.
love it. Get after it.
I always think of my father when I read that. I've got sweet tea because there's no coffee worth getting at Chick-fil-A. People can fight me on that.
Chick-fil-A has coffee?
See? See?
I
You didn't even know.
didn't even
You
know.
should. You're not missing anything. Chick-fil-A does one thing really, really well. It's not coffee. And then I've got water, so I can be hydrated. That's really what I need. So I've got an assortment. The coffee's trash this morning anyway, so I shouldn't say anything to Chick-fil-A. It's not like I made a better cup. I'm sure they'll pull their sponsorship later.
Yeah, they're gonna love to sponsor this at one
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah. Like, oh, no, you've insulted me.
All right. So this is our Therapy Near Me podcast. And this is our first episode that we're recording that we're gonna release. So buckle up for the ride, because
Oh my
do
gosh.
we know what we're doing? No,
No. Is that a requirement for me to do anything? Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Yeah, do
This
it
is gonna
anyway.
go really well. Um, no, but we wanted to like introduce ourselves a little bit, and then we wanted to like talk about why we want to do this, how we met, what our story is.
Oh, yes. I love the stories of how people met. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and my name, so yeah, you go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Rachel Iniarity.
Mm-hmm.
Should I say that? That's who I am.
Yeah,
I've been called lots of things, but I only answer to some of them, and that's what's really important. Because people can call you a lot, but anyway,
you choose to what you answer to, though.
that's important.
It is
Um,
important.
Side note, my father has called my husband Itinerary for some odd years, knowing full well
Your
that
last name is really hard.
that's true. That's true. And I
Yeah.
chose it and I like it and I want it. And my father never misses an opportunity to make a joke. And Itinerary might have been the first one he made about my husband when he met it. It's like, you're dating who? What's
I
his
t
name? Itinerary?
Oh
Sure.
man.
Anyway, I am a couples counselor. I own Rare Insights Counseling. And it's not so much that I have very rare insights. I just really like a good pun. So it's my initials. And it's based off of inner rarity. Uh, and that's a short about me. What about you, Melissa?
Well, I'm Melissa. And I'm Melissa Griffing, and I own Wellnest Counseling. We share the pun thing. I'm not good at coming up with puns like in the moment. You are. You're very good at it. I love it.
Thank
You
you
make
so
me
much.
laugh. You make me laugh all the time, which is great. But I did think really, really hard about my practice name because I see kids. I do therapy with kids and families, and I really wanted a name that was gonna like say that, right? So we like to say we bring wellness to your nest, and I have a lot of nest metaphors with my practice. I do, bring building your nest,
Mhm.
fleeing the nest, empty nesters, in the thick of your nest. So,
Your best nest.
uh,
Keep going with this. Also,
uh,
what you may not mention to people, and is really not pertinent because I don't think this is what we're about, but it's helpful to know you have chickens and they have eggs. And I recently saw you post, if anybody needs eggs, I'm like, of course I need fresh eggs. Didn't know that
yes,
was an option, but
yes, yep, yep. I have 10 chickens in my backyard. And I'm about to take pictures of them and like post like layer of the week.
oh my gosh.
I
Yes,
think it's so funny.
love it.
They're all molting right now though, so they're really ugly.
Well, they've got to lose the summer fluff
Yeah.
a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Have you
Yeah.
ever hypnotized a chicken?
Yes, where you like lay them and kind of rock them back and forth.
Do it a different way. I didn't know there was more than one way to hypnotize a chick.
How do you hypnotize?
Well, you lay them back and you do this thing, like where you trace from their collarbone to their beak, and they just, or you can just stick their head under their wing and they go straight to sleep.
I haven't done that one. I haven't stuck the head under the wing. But I have like laid like I'll hold them and I'll lay the chicken and then I'll rock it a little bit and then you can hold it by its feet upside down and it's just like it just like its wings go up.
I would too if you just rocked me for a little while.
Yes.
I fully was not expecting you to be like, yeah, I hypnotize chickens, because I've legitimately never met anybody else who does that, which shows just again how well suited we are to co-host anything together.
Because we can spend 5 minutes talking about how we hypnotize chickens.
Yeah, and that's important for people to know.
It absolutely is. If you didn't know, you heard it here first, folks.
We don't hypnotize people. Chickens, however.
Chickens. Yes. Yeah. And on my nest metaphor trend here, my egg selling business is called Nest Eggs. I thought that was fun. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a little fun insight about me. I have chickens and we sell their eggs, and I have green eggs. Like the shells are green. It just makes me so happy. Yeah.
I love the blue ones and the green ones. They're lovely.
Yeah.
Your nest all over. All over.
Mhm. Yep. So I have a group practice. So I have 3 other clinicians, and then 4, including myself, and then I also have a psychologist. And then you have your solo practice right now.
Just for now.
For now.
Yeah.
hmm
That's why I do all this networking, is because I get lonely. I need to talk to people.
Yeah.
So.
That's why I asked you to be on the podcast.
Thank you.
It's like, do you want to do this with me? Okay,
Oh,
how did we meet? How did we get here?
Okay, here's what I remember.
Oh,
Did you
this will be
come
fun.
to one of the networking things at the coffee shop first, or did we meet up for coffee first, one-on-one? I remember us meeting one-on-one.
Yeah, I came to the coffee shop for one of your meetups that you host. I came to that, like I saw it on Facebook or something, and I was like, yeah, I'll go to that.
I'm so glad too, because you host your own, so it's not like you had to do that. But I'm
Right.
glad because we really connected. And what was so funny, and I remember this distinctly, that was right around the time I was looking for a therapist for our daughter, and I had just read and was like, well, that one's on the list. So if that says anything to our listeners about how I feel about your practice, I was going to send my own daughter there. And I feel mixed about that because, man, that would have been great. She ended up with someone who also is amazing. That maybe we should talk to her.
Oh yeah.
But if that had happened, we couldn't be the friends that we are today. So I'm really glad that it didn't. If that,
Yeah.
So, and then we met
That
up individually after.
we did. Yeah. You host this really nice little coffee that's very relaxed, and it tends to be smaller, which is nice because you can just actually talk to people. Um, and yeah, I walked away from that being like, ah, I like her. We're gonna be friends.
Well, and I can say the name of the place because it's not like anybody's going to find us there anymore because it's closed. And we
Yeah.
can all just take a moment of silence to grieve staycation being closed at this time. It's
hmm
just,
It
I'm
was,
still heartbroken about it.
I know, it was such a sweet coffee shop.
Yeah, it was so much more. It's like a third place, but that's not what we're talking about today.
No, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we met there. That's where it all
We
began.
did. Yeah, and we continue to just like connect and like go to things together. And then one day we both were like, hey, we have goals and dreams. Should we do it together?
Yes. Which is, I think that's interesting. That's really important. And I think about what kind of makes that unique about our relationship, our friendship, is that there are a lot of therapists that just do what they do day in and day out, and they are content, and I think that's great.
hmm
But when you get together with therapists that are in that mindset, they are not always looking to build a business, to move the needle a whole lot. And that's fine. Like that's contentedness is good. But I was really for a while kind of looking, not struggling, but looking and keeping an ear to the ground to find someone who was ambitious and wanted to make stuff happen. And until then, I was just me in my car listening to podcasts, being like, this is going to be great. Not really have anybody to talk to about it. So it's nice to share the energy and excitement.
Yeah, and because well, the other thing that we have in the works is we've got this podcast and we're going to do a lot of recordings today. So you're going to see us all in our like same clothing, which is fine. We're trying to keep this simple because we're both very busy and we both are moms of multiple children and we're both married and we both have our own practices. But the other thing we're working on is like those retreats too, is trying to figure that out.
I'm so excited about that.
I am too.
Yeah, we got to get that together. So it sounds like, if I'm remembering our docket so far for the retreats, is we've
Mhm.
got one that's just going to be focused on couples, and we can do a couple of different ones. Like, one on the docket is just kind of fun for couples to come relax and recharge and like
Mhm.
learn a little bit more about how to enrich their closeness and intimacy and just reconnect, right? But then there might be more for like couples who want to learn more about conflict and how to manage that. And then we start getting into how that affects uh, your relationship when you have children. And then specifically, hey, what about those kiddos? Like, we
Yeah.
have some iterations in the works that are
Yeah.
really exciting.
Which I think is something that adds to like our uniqueness and our friendship too, because we both bring very different things to the table. I would love, and one of the things I'm excited about is because I would love to work with couples, but I don't have a good model for that. So I'm excited to learn from you on how to work with couples more. And then, yeah, and then mixing in what I do with the parenting and the kids and like all of that, I think is going to be,
Well, and to that end, like, I love what you do because it was like what was always just a little bit out of reach in my former life. There was a minute where I worked in schools and I worked with the kids, but it wasn't play therapy. And the kids were wonderful, but so much I would get sidetracked and want to work with the parents. And my boss, lovely as she was, she'd be like, "Oh, sweetheart, that's not your job. Like, stay in your lane." Which was my sign. Like, this must be really what I'm cut out for, is to
yeah.
work with the parents and the couples. But yeah, I think it is a unique mashing of these two worlds together, of what you and I both bring to the table.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. It's going to be really, and where this podcast is going to go. I'm excited about this.
Yeah. I'm so
Yeah,
glad that people can self-select to turn this off, because that means if you're listening, you chose this. I can't help you. You know what I mean? This
it's
is
so
your
true.
fault.
This is your fault. And if
Maybe
you
we're
are,
talking too much, you know.
if you're still with us through the chickens and how we met and
Yeah.
and our dreams for for what we want to do in the future,
Yes.
which I mean, we could do a whole episode on that, I feel like. But for today's purposes, right, we wanted to talk about why we want to do the podcast, like what our goal is with Therapy Near Me. Which again, with the punny, like the punny names, and I really liked the name. I'm not sure, Rachel. I don't think you were like,
Oh no, no, I think it's great. I just
okay.
couldn't think of anything. Like, I feel like it's my burden to be witty, and I'm like, I'm just not witty enough.
Uh,
So you beat me to it.
oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, I like Google searched a little bit, like, okay, how can we do this? But yes, I was really excited. So therapy near me, like when you type into Google, you type in therapy near me, and sometimes you get a little bit more specific, like play therapist near me, or child therapist, or couples counselor near me, but there's always that near me. Um, and Rachel and I do a lot of networking. Like that is one of our goals and our missions and our values is to meet really good therapists. And I know for me, a lot of that has to do with the fact that we'll get a lot of calls, and sometimes my practice is not the fit for everybody. We can't do all the things. And so, but what's really important to me is that even if somebody calls us and we're not your therapist, that I have a really good referral for you.
Right.
And so that's part of this is kind of just collecting a little video log of like really good therapists.
No, I agree with that 100%. Is one, there are a lot of really good ones in this area. DFW is kind of saturated, but where there's still so much demand for therapy, and sifting through that on the client side is daunting. And
Yeah.
the thing that I'll tell people when I talk about networking and when I talk about meeting other therapists is I once recommended a Mexican restaurant to my friends, and we all went to dinner and pulled a long hair out of our queso. And that was my favorite Tex-Mex restaurant. And I thought, man, if it feels this crushing to recommend a restaurant, it'd be bad. Like, how much more important is it that we find a good therapist for clients that we care about? We don't want to send you to just some Joe Schmo, or one of my pet peeves, to somebody who says, "Oh, I specialize in that. It's one of my 55 specialties." Like,
Right?
come on.
Yeah.
Sometimes we
Niche
need,
down.
yeah, we need something more specific right now and somebody who really knows what they're doing. So that that to us, and I think for most therapists, we feel really like careful and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, just want to be very conscientious about who we're sending people to, because this is something that probably gonna have to edit all of this out because I'm not making sense anymore. But this
But
is
you're
really
passionate about
important.
it. You care really. It's not sometimes that happens, right? When we care really deeply about something, we get in our feels and not in our thinking brain. And so it's
Yeah.
like I can feel this really deeply.
You're therapizing me right now, and I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so it I don't want to say precious or fragile, but like we're just not messing around when it comes to
Yeah.
somebody's mental health, right?
Yeah. Well, and like when people are coming to us, whether it's for couples counseling or child therapy, parent coaching, whatever it is, right? That it is typically your most vulnerable thing going on in your life right now,
Oh my gosh, yes.
right? And so we don't, as therapists, most of us, like we don't take that lightly.
No.
That's a massive, for us, it's like an honor for you to come and be like, hey, here's this thing that I'm really worried about. Can you help me?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like when I think of privileged information, I think of it in that skew of like, oh, this is really a privilege. Like, I know that I'm not sharing it, but also like, I take this as a great honor and privilege that you're sharing this moment and this information with me. Which
Yeah.
is why when somebody called me not that long ago and said, "Can you do this assessment for this kid?" And I was like, "I probably can. That does not mean I should. Let me give you Melissa's information. That's
Exactly.
who you want to call." Um,
Yes.
so absolutely. It's
Yeah. 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 So what do we want to see therapy near me do for the community and for us? What do you want to see? What's your goal?
Well, I mean, I just never miss an opportunity to bump my gums, to be quite honest.
Yeah, we can
If
talk,
that
that's for
exists.
sure.
Yeah, we have the gift of gab.
We do.
Um, But I want people to be connected. I think our community is a really wonderful one of helpers and healers, and I think we're really fortunate to be a part of it. And I think
Mm.
we need that community. I say that as like the royal we. I know I'm speaking for myself, but I've met so many other therapists that need that. And ultimately, I want clients to feel better equipped to make good decisions, to be educated about some of the topics that we're going to cover with the people who specialize in what they do, because it kind of
Mm.
demystifies it, normalizes it, and increases accessibility. So I think that's the overarching goal in my mind. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think that I really want to connect the community with really good therapists that we've worked really hard to get to know and
Mhm.
talk to and become kind of know their practice. And if it's a group practice, we try to know the people in their group practice
Right.
too. So we can say like this whole practice is really great. We like all of them. So I think that that's one of my goals. And I think that I also want people, I think, well, there's so much change going on in the therapy world right now with
Right.
some of those like big chain um,
Yeah.
companies that are making it really hard for small businesses. And arguably, like, I'm sure, okay, I will say any therapy sometimes is better than no
Generally
therapy.
speaking, yes.
Generally speaking, in
But big
general,
asterisk.
yeah, the big in general over that. Because there are bad therapists out there, so you do have to like do your research. Just like there's bad doctors or bad lawyers or whatever, right? Um, but I think like it's those big companies are well-meaning, but making it really hard for some of our smaller businesses to thrive. Um,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that,
I'm doing, oh, sorry, I
yeah,
keep interrupting you. My caffeine
no,
hasn't really kicked in. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, well, just to finish that thought, right? Like, and then what else I'm seeing too is like sometimes people aren't getting as good and personal care. And I think you and I both really care about that personal care and making sure we know the client.
Well, and I feel like that on both sides. How many times have I had clients come to me and say, well, we tried, fill in the blank of whatever
Big
more
company.
accessible therapy, which is we want accessibility for our clients. That's
Absolutely.
um and it just didn't feel right. We just didn't click or whatever it was. And on the other side, I know clinicians that are participating in them. And so I know some of them are wonderful, but I also
Yeah.
know that on the clinician side, for the most part, I haven't heard much good. I mean,
Hmm.
it removes a barrier for some people who don't want to handle themselves with insurance on their own, for example, but
Sure.
I don't know that they're getting reimbursed at the same rate. Sometimes the way that things are managed isn't great. And so, yeah, I mean, you're very generous to say their intent is good. I really hope so. I want to assume so. That will make me feel better at least. But I think overall, whether we're talking about how it impacts small business or not, overall, it just doesn't seem to be helping the client or the clinician as much as we would want it to. So,
Yeah. And this is just a little side plug. I really wish celebrities would like stop backing these companies. Like, just, let's back a small business in your area instead. Like, if you know a good therapist, be like, hey, this person, awesome. That would really help them a lot. But that just really grinds my gears.
I know, and I
Anyway,
think it's under the umbrella of like, oh, we're normalizing therapy. Great.
yeah,
And also, like, this is the therapy you're normalizing. So it's a great introduction. And like you said, some therapy, generally speaking, better than no therapy.
yeah.
But for the person who tries it one time and it's not a good experience, that might be the only time they try it because then they go, oh, well, it didn't work.
Hmm.
And then they don't get the help they need ever again because why would they do that again? Yeah.
Because this is already a super vulnerable thing, as we've said. So, like, if you don't have a good experience in the beginning, why would you do that again? So, but also what's happening with these big tech companies that are coming in and like trying to make therapy super accessible is they are doing and we're getting kind of on the business back end of things when running a therapy business, but a little transparency is good. But they're taking over the ads, over the Google ads. And so when you search therapy near me, the first thing that's going to pop up is one of those bigger companies that has the funds to put in these ads. And so your smaller businesses, like both of ours, are getting harder to find and harder to rank on Google. And so that's another goal is we want to give a voice and a platform for these therapists in Dallas and DFW area to say, hey, I'm here and this is how you can find me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just remove more barriers.
Yeah. Yeah. See? And so who do we have? We've got a couple really cool people lined up. Um,
Can we drop names?
yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Little tidbits.
All right. Why don't you start with the people that you've invited, and
Okay.
I'll tease some of the people that I'm excited to interview too.
Okay, so we've got Jessica Russell, who does DBT, and works with heavy trauma and people who are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and parentification. So like we do an episode and we're gonna get all into all of what that is. Yeah, it's so great. If you don't know what DBT is, this is your nugget to go listen to that episode next. Be like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what it is right now. You have to go listen.
It's gonna be a whole new world.
Okay, and then we also have Carla.
Mm,
And Carla is my OCD go-to. If you
okay.
have OCD, I would say like she's really made a name for herself in the DFW community. Like
Yeah.
you knew who she was. I was like, we both wrote down Carla when we were
Yeah.
talking about who to invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been impressed with her from literally the moment I met her. And I
Yeah.
think in like I might have spooked her. We're gonna find out when we interview her later, but I'm just like, I need to meet you. I need to learn all about what you do. And she's like, okay, you're coming on a little strong. Just entirely impressed with her.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk with her. She is very impressive.
Mhm.
She'll talk about her OCD journey and like how she started working with those clients and all of that. So I'm excited to hear from her about that. Okay, and then we also have Lydia Neighbors. I have been, and they have Neighbors Counseling,
Mhm.
and I've been so impressed with Lydia because so they're a entirely insurance-based practice,
Oh,
and they
awesome.
do a lot of things. But
Really?
yes, but one thing that Lydia is going to talk about, and they have like two or three locations at this point.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
that's great.
yeah, yeah, they do a lot of things. But one thing I'm really excited about is Lydia works with people suffering from dissociative identity disorder. Um, yeah. So this is going to be, I'm so excited to talk to her, just because I think that that's one of those terms that has gotten thrown around and more people are like, I have DID, and you see it on TikTok and you see it on, Instagram
Oh goodness. What was the
and
one with James McAvoy? That
yeah,
way
the
before my
animal, the
time.
beast or something like that.
I have no idea, but I know that it's not helping stigma. I know that.
Not at all. Not at all. And not super accurate. Like your body bones cannot actually transform just
Oh,
because you
I
have.
haven't watched it, so
Oh, I
couldn't
watched
say on
it.
this. Oh no. Mm-mm.
I was like, I need to know what is being said here.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it's just really interesting. And then I come across, like when I scroll on TikTok, I come across accounts all the time that are like, I have DID, here are my, seven personalities or my seven alters. So I'm excited for her to like demystify some of this stuff so we know exactly what this is, what it can actually look like, you know.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. More
Yeah.
education is more better.
More education is more better, yes. And all of these people are experts in their field, like in their area. So they're very I trust them. If they tell me this is what it is, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, cool. I
Yeah,
believe you."
I will stay in my lane. You have got your lane on lock, right?
Yes, yeah.
Um, and for especially all the things that you've named, but in general, uh, you really should have somebody who knows what they're talking about. Like, I probably know about OCD. I have some general ideas. Nobody should come see me right now specifically for that. Like, if you have
Yeah.
it and you're one of my clients, fantastic. But if you want treatment for OCD, I am not, we're outside of my scope of competency, as we would say in grad school.
Hmm.
And it would be unethical for me to continue treating you without that treatment. Therefore, I need these fantastic referrals like Carla, for example.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so let's see. I've got one that we're going to see an interview soon, and then another coming down the pike. Is it the pike? Is that the expression?
I don't know. Down the
Everyone's mixed.
I do that all the time. My husband's like, that's not what it is. I'm like, oh,
What's
well,
up?
you got what I meant.
Yeah. But the first one that I get to bring to the table is Helena Reese.
Hmm.
And she's just cool. I like everything about her. Every time she says something, she just says it with such casualness, like it's not the coolest thing you just heard. Like where she's from, or where her family is, or the experiences that she's had, or the fact that she is both a sex therapist and a registered play therapist. How does that happen? I want to
Yeah.
find out more, and you should find out more by listening to that episode, right?
Yeah. And as a registered play therapist myself, I'm really interested in that, how
Yeah.
that intersects. Like, how did we get in both lanes?
Right. And I don't think she's doing both modalities in any one session, right?
No, I don't think so either. That would be weird.
Just to be clear, like that's
Just to
not
be
what's
clear.
happening. But like how is this happening in one brain? Because for people who are not therapists and you're listening to this, we kind of lock down on a modality and get really passionate about it. It clicks with us.
Hmm.
And so it's not that you can't study other ones, it's just not common. And so to have two very different things in one brain, very excited. Of course, we want to talk to her about sex therapy, but the fact that she's doing both of these, kind of cool. So
Yeah. And like on that note, sex therapy is one of those things even within the therapy world. Like I don't know a lot of sex therapists.
I'm a couples therapist. And I don't do official sex therapy. And more than that, I didn't know until I met Helena. Oh, there's a big difference between somebody who treats sex addiction and
Uh-huh.
somebody who helps you with your sex life, right?
Yeah.
And she's going to tell us more about that because those are important things to know, that if you're looking for a therapist near me and you look for sex therapist, you might not end up with the person that you need to actually help you with what you are trying to work through. So just things that, why would anybody know that? Why? Until somebody tells you, until you stumble upon a podcast like this, right?
Right, exactly. And I think that's one of the other goals, right? Is like our therapy world is so nuanced and so niched. There's somebody for everybody out there. But it's again, it's hard to find, which is one of our goals here. We want to bring you the people that can do the things.
Unicorns that everybody's like, I'm looking for a unicorn here. Be like, I got you.
I
This is
got you. We have the unicorns.
it. It's like Arby's. We have the meat. The other one that has been postponed but is still very exciting to me are co-owners of Aletheia Counseling,
Yeah.
Ryan Eberst and Granger, Nicholas Granger.
Yeah.
These two guys, and the person that helped them start their practice, just really fun. And I think really framed a lot of the approach that I have for networking and how I would like to do business, because they're very relaxed, they're very organic, and they make a place for their therapist that, as far as I can tell, they like being there. And
Mm,
more than that, they want to see personality disorders all day long. And I'm like, great. I didn't know that about them.
that's awesome.
And that's also something that I'm like, could definitely use some more training. But that's a big part of their practice. They also just coupled with an addiction recovery center that they're doing some outpatient work with. So they're moving and shaking over there. And I want to see what that's about.
Yeah, I want to hear about that too. I've heard their name pop up more and more throughout the community, Aletheia Therapy.
Yeah, they used
Yeah.
to have a networking event quarterly. And to
Yeah.
me, it felt like really relaxed and not weird, which you don't have to be a therapist to hate networking, okay? I think that's a human thing for most of us. So they did it in a way that felt very relaxed and organic and real, and just literally sitting on the porch and chatting. And that to me shouldn't have been so revolutionary, but it wasn't weird. It wasn't like icebreakers. I mean, icebreakers
Yeah.
are fine, and they
It
have
can
their
be.
place. Yeah, they can be, but like their approach, it just seems so woven into the fabric of just how they do business, how they do life, how they do therapy. And so I've just been impressed with them. Whatever they're doing seems to be working for them and their clients. So.
I'm really excited to meet them and talk with them too, because I want to know more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what I've got. That's what we've got coming up. So
Yeah.
lots to look forward to.
We also have who we affectionately call the Ashleys,
Oh, yes, that's
although I
right.
think we're only getting one of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I know because yeah, I think she had something that pulled her away. So we really like the Ashleys. They're kind of like us. They own their own practices.
Mm-hmm.
And they just connected and wanted to do retreats together, which was that's like our story. We were like,
Yeah,
well,
a little bit.
let's do this.
Yeah.
And so I think they're gonna come on and talk about what are they gonna talk about?
They've got their hands in a lot, and not for nothing, because they've got a lot of training and experience. So
Yeah.
they definitely probably will tell us a little bit about their retreats. They're getting to where some of them, like they've got a healers retreat. They've got a retreat for women called She Rises, and they're building on it to where it's a continuous experience that you can go back to over and over. Um,
Hmm.
One, I think, I don't know if this is a part of She Rises or not, but they've learned a lot, and they don't facilitate this, but they pass on or facilitate education. I don't know if I'm saying this right, about perimenopause and menopause, which is not
Yeah.
in the moment right now, but it's long overdue. So let's have the moment, right?
Yeah.
Um, Also, just loads of experience. I can speak for my office mate, Ashley Keeney. She's been doing this 17 or 18 years. She's
Mm.
working in somatic experiencing, like she's getting certified in that, which is a long process.
They're
Um,
also getting certified in yoga too,
yeah,
right?
she's a
Yeah.
certified yoga instructor now. She does
Yeah.
art therapy. She's genuine too. Like she walks the walk, and you can
Yeah.
tell that from both of them. It's just an absolute delight. So very
Well, and I think what I love about them too is that they are so authentic, but they're also so rooted in research and like best practices. So you
yeah.
don't get this like at least I don't get like a new agey vibe, even though they do like, yoga things and somatic experiences and which are way outside of my
Oh,
zone of anything.
I'll never forget Ashley Keeney and I were talking to somebody, and Ashley Keeney mentioned that part of her practice every once in a while will incorporate hypnotism.
Yeah.
And somebody had the unmitigated gall, and they were in a very like woo-woo practice in the first place, and they were like, I think some people think that's weird. And if you knew what this other person did, I'd be like, ma'am, like you just told me about some of the weirdest stuff I've ever heard, and you just told her hypnotism is strange. Okay, I think we're okay. Like
I,
she
I
does demystify a lot.
I think I was in that conversation. I
Oh, really?
vaguely, I think so. I think it was either at your networking event or my networking event. I don't know, or maybe it was one of theirs because they host networking events too. And I think I remember somebody saying like that was kind of weird, but she had just told us like all the things that she does, and I was like, hang on.
Yeah. Wait a second. Like look in a mirror for a second to reflect on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she does. They both make it. I don't know how they convey it in such a way that you feel at ease about it, but it
Mhm.
is very rooted in science. Like it's not weird, it's not woo-woo. It seems that way when you hear about it at first, but when you meet them, it doesn't feel that way at all. And I think overarching of all of that, it's effective. Like when I have people that
Yeah.
are stuck in some trauma that's in their body, this is the person I call. Like, you need to go down the hall for a little while and come back when you're feeling a little bit better because there's a limit to what I can offer. And I know somebody who can really help with this. And it feels so good to know, oh, I can trust that when I send them down the hall, they're gonna get what they need and they're gonna have a good experience. I'm not gonna hear one of these therapist horror stories later, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the one of the reasons that they're so it doesn't feel off-putting when they talk about some of these like I mean they're almost labeled alternative therapy
Right.
types, right? Is because it's so authentic to them and
Yeah.
it's like rooted in who they are. But they don't talk about it all the time, right? They don't like push it
No,
on you.
they're
They're
not
just
being
very
humdrum. Yeah.
no, they're just very like down to earth and so I'm really excited to have them and talk about that with them. My light
You
just
can
went
just
off.
get half
Did
of
you
that.
notice?
Oh, you're like, no,
My light just died.
no.
That's why I like paused and jumped a little bit because I was like, "Oh, that's
Well, good
okay."
thing you have the light emanating from the inside you. Like you're just radiating today. It's beautiful.
Love it. Love it. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we've got a good lineup of people, and then we'll have more. That's going to give us a really good start into the new year, because all these episodes come out in the new year, and then we're going to have more because we've got more people for you.
Yeah, as we make the list, it just keeps growing because we are up to our eyeballs in good people in DFW.
We really are. So I'm excited to like hear everybody's story, and I think this will be good for me too because networking is hard as a therapist. I mean, for anybody, unless you're one of those people that like loves it, but it's hard. And I walk away from things sometimes being like, wait, who did what again? And you
Yeah.
do, right? So I'm excited to get to know people on like a deeper level.
Yeah, I want to get to know them, not just what they do, like who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who we're trusting with our thoughts and our feelings and our lives is this whole other person. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And that's I think maybe even another goal. We keep discovering goals, right? Um, is allowing so much about therapy is does come down to like personality and fit. And so giving everyone a place to hear their voice a little bit and their cadence of speech and all of that I'm hoping listeners will be able to be like, oh, wait, I think this is somebody I could work with, and we can make those matches quicker.
yeah, I've had clients who or somebody who requests a referral, And they're like, I don't know, I just didn't get the right vibe. I feel bad though. I shouldn't have this preference. I'm like, you don't have to explain or justify it at all because what matters most is that you feel comfortable. Like, this is a big deal that you're trusting somebody with this stuff, right? So to speak.
Yeah.
And you should feel comfortable. That's really what matters most.
Yeah. 100%. Mm.
All right. Well, let's rock and
Okay.
roll. Let's make
Yeah.
some.
We're
Go
gonna get
refill one of
started.
my free beverages.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go plug my light in for 10 minutes before our next interview.
I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.